Do you like stirring up trouble?
Yeah, boy.
Follow me. Evidently I do. I don't think that I do, but obviously I do, because almost every single furniture piece I've created in the last 6 months has blown up with the controversy of the technique that I figured out along the way. I didn't decide, hey, let's emboss this dresser and do all these greens and golds. You guys, it's a journey. We're just having fun. We're just figuring it out as we go. And then I post it, and yet they either love it or they hate it. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter. I don't care. All I care about is that you learn how to do it, and then you learn how to make it your own. You don't have to use the colors I do. You don't have to use the rollers that I do. You don't have to make it vomit green, evidently. It's not, it's emerald. It's emerald. But I'm about the technique. Once I've figured it out, I want to make you these videos, and then the rest's up to you. And then you get to post it on TikTok. And then I will help you when you come crying to me with the comments. But isn't it glorious? Isn't it glorious? Because if you're not being talked about, what is the point? If you're not being talked about, you're not doing anything interesting. That's how I feel. Let them talk about you. Let them talk about you. All right, let's get started. We have this desk. This desk has been in my studio for, I can't even remember how long. I mean, too long. Why? Because the veneer's all messed up. It's peeling off. It's an oak desk, you guys. It's a gorgeous desk. I listed it for $150 on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace, all those places. I had it for sale in my actual physical store when I had that. What? No. So when people tell me, oh, if only you hadn't painted it, zip it. I don't even want to hear it. I'm not listening. So basically what I knew I needed to do was to repair it. So that was a couple years ago. And I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like repairing it either. I get it. It's boring. But then I had this client, and she wanted me to do 3 pieces: a dresser, a hall tree, and a desk. And she sent me the desk, and it was awful. I was gonna have to scrape it down. I was gonna have to remove all the paint from it. And I was like, no, I don't wanna deal with that. And then I remembered I had my other desk. So the only thing that made my desk better than her desk was that I didn't have to actually scrape all the paint off. So all of a sudden my desk is looking like it's worth the trouble. So I suggested to my client, do you like this? She's not sure. I decided I'm gonna go for it anyway and teach you guys how to repair it. I made a few mistakes along the way. Come on with me. So basically, when you're fixing veneer, the first thing that I did was peel it back off from the wood underneath. Sometimes it's nice wood, sometimes it's not, but you want to get out the bubbles. So you kind of pull it back, and you want to get your glue in there. You want to get your glue in there, and then you want to wipe it off. You want to clamp it down, but not just with the clamps. You want to clamp it down with a block, something flat, because otherwise your clamps are going to leave an imprint, right? We don't want that. So you use something flat, like a piece of wood. This is where things got a little crazy. You need to make sure you put some kind of barrier layer, okay? A piece of saran wrap, a piece of wax paper, maybe some Vaseline, I don't know, but I forgot. And then I'm filming myself taking off the clamp, and it's stuck. But it's okay. I figured it out and I got it off. So now that I have that off, I still had a little bubble. So I had to literally take a razor blade, okay? Just a little razor blade, so I could get in there with the glue and kind of shoot it in like a syringe almost. I got it in there, clamp that down. All right, the bubbles are gone. Now we have some missing veneer that's just gone. It's just gone. There's nothing we can do about it. So I just used wood filler. Y'all can use whatever you want. Use your plastic wood, use your wood filler, use anything that makes you happy. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. It only matters that you are happy with it. Use Bondo if you want. So we were to fill in all of that. So now we have a nice flat, basically flat surface. We don't have any veneer coming up. We're ready to rock and roll. But because we've done all this repair, it really does need to be painted now. If you are watching this video thinking that I was going to repair it and then refinish it and then stain it, you're on the wrong page. Were there any clues? Have you seen any clues that this is not the page you were thinking it was? Anyway, all right. So now we have this piece. And I gotta tell you, my client has not confirmed that she absolutely wants me to do this, but I've already done the other 2 pieces. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And then she's gonna fall in love with it. And that's what happened. But anyway, let's not jump ahead. Okay, so basically I knew that she wanted it black and green and gold. These are colors I have not done before, you guys. So I was up for the challenge. And then I thought to myself, if I paint this, it's not a perfect surface. So I knew my client wanted it black, and I decided to use Debbie's Design Diary Black Velvet to put down the base coat. This had been out of stock for a while, so I was super excited to use it again. It'd been a long time. So I put it all over the piece, and it looked gorgeous. It really did, but some of those imperfections were still showing, where I did the veneer, where I filled things in, where there was still some chips, and I was like, you know what, I gotta camouflage it. So what am I gonna do? 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 And then, BAM! It occurred to me.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
That's how it happens with me. Paint frosting. I hadn't tried it yet. I've had it on my shelf for I don't know how long. I've seen other people use it. And I'm like, oh, that'll be fun. Someday I'll use it. This was someday, because it occurred to me that Debbie's Design Diary had a new product called paint frosting, and I hadn't tried it yet. Sometimes I'm slow on the uptake. I've had it in stock forever, but sometimes you just need the perfect project. And I thought to myself, I'll use the paint frosting and I'll create a texture. So what you do, you guys, is you pour out your paint. So I poured, and this only works with Debbie's Design Diary paint, all right? So this is a Debbie's Design Diary tutorial, in case I wasn't clear. So I took black velvet and I put it into a little jar, and I made sure it had a cap. I then carefully measured. I don't carefully measure anything. I said in my video, I put in a few drops, and then I probably put in like couple teaspoons. I don't know. Figure it out. Put in a few drops, put in a teaspoon. I don't think it really matters. Put in a little bit and then stir it around, and you're gonna see it already start to become pudding-like. It was kind of instant, like, what? So then if you want it even thicker, put the top on and wait a day. I'm not good with waiting, but I did it. Luckily I had enough other projects. I waited. Paint frosting is gonna allow me to get the texture that I need to really camouflage this piece. So I made some paint frosting. So now we have the paint frosting, and I'm putting it on, and then I had another idea. This is what life's about. Like, if you are wondering how to get ideas, you're like, nothing comes to me. Because you're sitting on your ass. Nothing comes to you when you're sitting on your ass. You actually have to start doing it, and then the ideas come. Did you know that? I didn't always know that. But once you just start, whatever it is, just pick up the brush and an idea is gonna come. Open the jar of paint, an idea is gonna come. There's so many things you can do, and then all of a sudden, there's your idea. So this was happening to me. So here was my idea. What if we used one of my textured rollers on top of the paint frosting to give this ethereal, almost embossed leather, insanely amazing look? So I did it. So you gotta have that, Goldilocks just perfect in the middle. I would say it's about a 1/4 inch thick. That's too much. 1/8 of an inch thick. I think that's probably right. Y'all know I don't measure. But anyway, you'll get it. Just try it, you'll get it. So then I took the roller and I went through it. It was like this perfect pattern for us to play with. So then I did the whole piece and I messed it up. But I did it again. I mean, it was a little tricky. But once I got the hang of it, so basically you just put the paint frosting on, and what I learned is if you put too little, you're not gonna get enough of a pattern. If you put too much, your roller's gonna slip and slide all over the place. But I still wanted to win over this client because I knew what she wanted, and she hadn't committed, but I had in my mind like this challenge. Like if I do exactly what's in her mind and it's in my mind and it blows her away, then she's gonna say, yeah.
Not bad, not bad.
I'll take your desk. I know. It was kind of a crazy little like invisible game I was playing with her, but that's how I roll. So I had it all embossed, and I decided to sand it back a little bit because some of the places that embossed were pointing out, and it does harden, but it's easy enough. Sand it back, smooth it out. So now we had pure black. And then I had another idea. Now, when you are using Debbie's Design Diary paint, you put wax on top. Do you know what paint companies say you can never, ever do? Paint over wax. I'm missing it. Where am I? Over here. Paint over wax. So, guess what I'm doing today? Guess what I'm doing? So in order to test this without completely freaking out, I'm waxing the back of my piece that I already tested my colors on. So I'm testing the colors, now I'm testing the wax, and then I'm gonna paint over that and see what happens. Y'all wanna know what happens? Well, follow me. I loved it. It was a very deliberate look. I wouldn't recommend it just willy-nilly, just because you feel like it. Like, oh, I think I'll just do these sandwich layers just because it could be fun. It wasn't that easy, but I did get the look that I wanted, which was kind of this ethereal, almost encaustic feeling. So now I've got this idea. I know that it works. I've tested it. It's time to put it on the embossed layers of the desk. Y'all, I just had fun. At this point, I was just smushing and mushing. Yes, it's the Tanglewood Sue smush and mush. It's time to just play with those colors. Layer them up, put them on, smush them around, spray your water bottle, highlights, lowlights, whatever you want to do. And I did it, and then I put the wax back on, and I stood back and I said, that is good, but I'm not done. It's always the case. It's why I don't charge by the hour. It's why I should charge by the hour is what I meant to say. It's why I should charge by the hour, but I don't. Anyway, so now that I've got the whole piece done, what do I decide we need? Do you know me? Have you watched my channel?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
We need some metallics. We need some metallics on this thing. Just a little bit. It doesn't need to be all crazy Barbie sparkly. It just needs a little bit of shimmer. Just a little bit. I want to put it on just the embossed edges, but I can't figure out how to do it. I try to do it lightly with a brush. That doesn't work. I try to do it with my fingers. That doesn't work. And then I had this idea. I had this block of wood, and I remember doing like a boatwood effect. You know how you do a boatwood effect? I've got it on some other video somewhere. I'll try to tag it. But anyway, what you do is you put the paint on a board, on a flat surface, on a hard surface. And I'm thinking, all right, let's pretend this is the embossed layers. I know, it just looks like I need surgery, but let's pretend this is embossed layers, all the different layers. And then you have this flat piece of wood, and you go across, you're just gonna hit what's sticking up. That was a really ugly way to describe it, but I think it made sense, right? Okay, and it worked. It worked, so now I've got those flowers in the embossing roller that are kind of peeking through, and I've got the greens, and I've got all the ethereal, and I'm pretty happy with it. I posted on social media. Goodness gracious. Well, first of all, you're always gonna get that, why did you paint that? Like, I can't even get up the energy to make fun of those people anymore. They're just not worth my time. But a lot of people hated the green. I loved the green. A lot of people loved the green and then hated on the people who hated the green. It was a drama. I just got some popcorn. But you know, I think it's one of the prettiest pieces I've ever done. So at this point, I sent a picture to the client. And I let her know I'm putting it for sale because she still hadn't told me if she wanted it. She said, let me think about it. I said, okay, but I've listed it for sale. Chop, chop. It's about damn time. She couldn't resist. I know, I'm so manipulative. She couldn't resist. It was gorgeous. Come on. It was custom made for her without her permission. How could she say no? Anyway, she was a really good sport. She loves it. She got it. I'm really happy I did it. I hope you guys have had fun watching me put this whole thing together. I hope you are like getting the idea. So even if you're sitting on your ass and you're just watching me, you can still get ideas. That watching somebody else be creative is still something that's going to trigger an idea in your brain. So what are you going to do? You're going to do it with a different color. Are you going to do it with like something from around your house to get that texture? Like, I'm dying to know. Please comment. Please let me know. I hope you have already subscribed. I shouldn't have to tell you this. You should have already done it by now. I hope you're already enjoying the rest of the videos, the shorts, the tutorials, the reels, all the things. I hope you're just having fun, getting inspired, trying new things. If you need any of the supplies, you know where to get them. Tanglewoodworks.com is the store. Tanglewoodsue.com is my blog. They connect. If you go to one, you can end up at the other. But one is the blog where I teach you everything. I write it all out. I have all of the supplies for you, all of the lists. So if you want to read all about it and have links to everything, check out my blog. If you're a visual learner, you've already found me. You're watching the video. If you just want to skip all this and just jump in and buy the supplies and get started and then just come back to the video when you get lost, just go to my site, tanglewoodworks.com. All right, you guys, have a fantastic day and just keep asking yourself, what if?